Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you at this celebration of women in agriculture. This is a really important celebration for me personally to get to take part in. As the first Black woman and the first woman of color to serve in the role of Deputy Secretary at USDA, I take seriously my role in ensuring that a clear path is set forth for those who will come after. It is not lost on me that every day in this department, we have the opportunity to interact with talented individuals who will undoubtedly make a mark on the history of USDA and all those working in agriculture today and in future generations. On the heels of Black History Month, we must not only continue to remind ourselves and others that we are strong when the agricultural sector is diverse and that we all benefit from more diversity, but that we must also put our words into actions and fulfill our commitments and promises. And in this month of March, we celebrate Women's History Month to showcase the accomplishments of women to our culture and society. We draw strength and inspiration from the remarkable women who came before us. They are part of our history, and a truly balanced and inclusive history recognizes how important women have been in American society, including the workforce and including the agricultural sector. And it is here too that we must turn our words into action, a future of expanded opportunity and endless possibilities for all women and girls. This is why, among our top priorities, USDA is committed to the values of equity and inclusion, rooted in justice and equal opportunity for all those we serve. We are taking bold, historic action to reduce barriers to access in USDA's programs and services and to root out generations of discrimination in the design and delivery of USDA programs. We are also continuing to build on our progress towards integrating equity into decision-making. Integrating equity ensures that USDA programs and services are designed and delivered fairly to all of rural America. By addressing barriers to equity, USDA will support all farmers and ranchers in their vital work in feeding our communities and will sustain the vibrancy and resiliency of rural life. Part of our commitment includes looking within. The administration has sought out key leaders from across the country known for their work in agriculture, experience in working with historically underrepresented communities, and their commitment to shape policy at USDA to be more inclusive. We are also focused on reducing barriers to access in agriculture, including for women. The average age of US agricultural producers continues to climb, as do the barriers for entering agriculture, creating a perfect storm that could generationally impact our ability to have a secure, growing, and resilient agriculture sector. USDA is providing bridges to help new producers become our next generation of farmers and ranchers through a wide variety of efforts. USDA has provided over $1 billion from the American Rescue Plan, which provides funds and direction for USDA to take forward-looking action to ensure historically underserved communities have the tools, programs, and support to succeed. With these transformative funds, USDA will focus on creating opportunity for historically underserved producers through technical assistance and capacity building, access to land and credit, and access to markets and market development. In particular, we announced an investment of $75 million in American Rescue Plan funding to 20 initial cooperating organizations to work collaboratively with USDA, to work with underserved producer communities, and to provide technical assistance to farmers and ranchers and forest landowners. Organizations were selected for their proven track records of working with underserved producer communities. USDA is announcing a second funding opportunity to ensure this collaborative circle of technical assistance providers can deepen our links to producers and explore new models of support in addressing the challenges producers face. USDA will also announce in the coming months important work supporting minority-serving institutions and improved land access and market access efforts that will bolster and strengthen the connections between underserved producers and USDA and provide wraparound services and support to those who are often overlooked in programs designed to reach well-established producers or those with larger operations. Helping all producers succeed, no matter their size or location or who manages the operation, is critical to the future of agriculture. Just last week, I had the opportunity to welcome the new members of USDA's Equity Commission and Subcommittee on Agriculture to their first meeting and serve as the co-chair. The President, Congress, and USDA has tasked the Equity Commission and Subcommittee with figuring out what barriers currently exist for people in accessing our programs, how they can be removed, what additional suggestions and recommendations they would like to make relative to improving access, and what accountability measures need to be instituted. At USDA, we will take seriously each and every recommendation of the Equity Commission and take a proactive and genuine effort to implement the recommendations. We want the Equity Commission and the subcommittee to help ensure that the USDA serves all of its customers and those most in need of our help through an equity lens. When it comes to agriculture specifically, we want to help support diversity in agriculture and strengthen opportunities for farmers of all sizes and all systems, as well as all those involved in the production and the supply chain system that provides the food, fiber, and fuel to our nation and our world. I understand how important the recommendations of the Equity Commission and Subcommittee on Agriculture will be, and our responsibility at USDA to ensure that we utilize the recommendations and we make the much needed changes to our programs and our policies to ensure that people have equal access and can benefit from USDA programs and resources for years to come. We have to do this the right way because it is the right thing to do. Many of the next generation of agricultural producers will come from underserved areas of the country and underserved communities of producers. More people need to be brought into agriculture across the board, and working with underserved communities will be critical to the future of US agriculture. This is just some of our work to improve the department for the benefit of underserved communities, the overall farm and agriculture sector, and rural America. Now, key to this work is ensuring a pipeline for leadership roles for women in agriculture, particularly women of color. We aim to lift up the voices of women in agriculture and make sure the next generation of women are educated, encouraged, and empowered to take on the challenges of meeting the world's growing food, fuel, and fiber needs. As I shared earlier, part of this ensures that the leadership diversity at the department is reflective of the diversity across our nation. Women make up about 36% of the total population of US farmers. We must ensure that USDA mirrors all of the people within the communities we serve. As part of this commitment, we are engaged in a full-on effort to recruit more young and diverse talent from minority-serving institutions and community colleges through internships. In addition, we want to see this diversity reflected in the numerous advisory boards and committees that also serve the department and represent the voices of farmers, ranchers, and producers. Some of the ways we can ensure women in agriculture have their voices heard include electing women agricultural producers to Farm Service Agency county committees. Committee members are a critical component of the day-to-day operations of FSA. They help deliver FSA farm programs at the local level and work to help FSA agricultural programs serve the needs of local producers. Also, encouraging women to serve on a research and promotion program board. These programs, overseen by USDA's Agricultural Marketing Service, focus on research, marketing, and consumer outreach efforts that improve, maintain, and develop opportunities for agricultural commodities. Another way is encouraging service on one of a number of USDA advisory committees that advise on a variety of issues, ranging from emerging markets to animal health. And we can also ensure that we pave a bright path forward for women who are currently farmers or who want to get in the business in order to increase the representation of women farmers. This is why we must support and lift up women-owned businesses in agriculture and forestry. FSA targets a portion of all guaranteed loan funds, direct operating and direct farm loan ownership funds, microloan funding, and youth loans to historically underserved farmers and ranchers, which include women. We can also support the safety of women in agriculture and forestry, particularly by addressing violence, harassment, and discrimination women and members of the LGBTQI plus communities face. We can improve and promote nutrition assistance. And we can increase and promote women participation in agricultural STEM. The Biden-Harris administration's National Gender Strategy, the first ever to exist, recognizes these principles for the full participation of all people in our workforce. It recognizes that we must bring the talent and potential of all people to bear to face the challenges of our time. And to do so, we need to improve economic security for women and their families. We need to ensure that people have equal access to good jobs. We need to dismantle barriers to equal opportunity in education. And we need to close gender gaps in STEM fields so that women and girls can shape the workforce of the future. Now, before I close, I'd like to share with you an inspirational moment that I had the pleasure to take part in last week in marking Women's History Month. On Instagram Live, I had a conversation with Georgia's youngest certified farmer, Kendall Ray Johnson, about her farming journey. And when I say young, I mean it. At only 6 years old, Kendall Ray is already excited and motivated about farming. I was so inspired by Kendall Ray, who couldn't really pronounce the term deputy secretary, but she could so eloquently explain why water, sun, and pollinators are so important to ensure that our plants grow. And she also threw in a little bit of wisdom by saying that plants take a lot of water to grow in a healthy way. And at the same way, people need to ensure we drink a lot of water as well to ensure that we grow in a healthy way. And that was certainly a lesson that I needed to be reiterated to me. Kendall Ray and future generations are counting on us to ensure that all people, regardless of gender, have every opportunity to reach their full potential. I have no doubt that in this moment, we can seize every opportunity and truly achieve gender equity in agriculture and beyond. Today, as you celebrate the role that women play in the agriculture industry, know that you are playing an important role in the future, and we will build in the years to come and for future generations. It has been an honor to share this celebration with you all. On International Women's Day, during Women's History Month, let us all recommit to acknowledging the impact and influence women and girls have on our daily lives, and let us continue to build a level playing field for all. And I say to each of you all, thank you.